Welcome to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. From my extreme right, we have a full house right here in the small studio at Manhattan Neighborhood Network today. And that's mnn.org. That's our website. Manhattan Neighborhood Network is where we tape these episodes. Our show is live to tape, which means we put our programs on tape, and if we tape today, we air about 3 to 4 weeks from now, but we do not edit. So if we make a mistake, we just move on. We just air everything. So when you come and stretch with us over here, you'll know exactly how it feels to be able to stretch and just do everything as it comes naturally to you. No practice, no reviews, no revisions. To my extreme right, we have taking a sip of her coffee, Sandy Kane, Naked Cowgirl. You will see Sandy in Times Square. Sandy she is basically a celebrity, and Sandy, we love having you here with all your energy. Anything you want to say to our viewers?
Well, I have this new, this man called me about Dial a Star. Says, you're a reality celebrity. I go, a reality celebrity? You were on America's Got Talent. I said, I thought that was a talent show, not a reality show.
Right.
But the days of Star Search are over. I am a reality star, and you can dial me on Dial a Star. And talk to me in person. So that would really be a great thrill for me.
You want to speak to Sandy? You want to share some of her energy? Google Sandy Kane. That's Kane, Sandy, Sandy, Kane.
Well, it's really, you have to go to the website dialastar.com, and you'll see
go to Sandy.
And you'll see me with a guitar, and it was taken out in Times Square, 46th Street, where I stand, all summer. So I'm looking forward to having people come out and saying hello to me and just taking a photo.
Well, by the time we air this episode, you'll be out there in Times Square.
I was there last week for Mother's Day.
There you go. Okay, so Sandy's going to be, while you're watching Sandy here on TV in front of you, you'll also be seeing Sandy live in Times Square, 46th Street.
46th Street and Broadway by the Marriott, or right in that little island. And just me and Elmo. They have a lot of, like, Disneyland characters.
Right. Yeah, I've seen those. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, the SpongeBob's, and but this is for adults.
Welcome back to the show,
And I love children,
Sandy.
too.
I'm gonna save our special guest for the last. To my immediate left, we have Lana Parr. Lana is one of those quiet but surprising people. She looks very timid, but trust me, she can eat a green chili faster than you could eat anything. Lana, you're amazing. That just shows that she's got some inner spark in her. Right now, Lana, you've been on a show maybe about 10, 15 episodes?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
But 10 to 15 episodes, and Lana she has had knee replacements, correct?
Yes, 2.
Lana has had she's had knee replacements in both the knees, but in spite of that, she kept coming. She was very determined. That shows that she's got a lot of grit, and she found a lot of improvement in herself as well. So welcome back, Lana.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here.
Lovely to have you. Pleasure to have you. Now for the big moment everyone's been waiting for. Actually, I should save Mike for just one more minute. I'd like to acknowledge our one-person crew today, Josiane Hurd. Josiane, our director, is... Come on in, Jonathan. You need to bring the mats. Bring a couple of mats from there. Ours is a very open show, so people are welcome to come in whenever they want to stretch with us. They just walk right in. Josiane, our director for today, right at the moment, she's holding the fort by herself. She may be joined already by Nick Chileshi in the control room. Deshaun Pretlow, a facilitator responsible for all the studio lights and the setups behind us. And while we are waiting for Jonathan Booth, one more participant to join us, I would finally like to introduce you to Dr. Mike Dioria. I have your permission to call you Mike. Actually, you know what? It's much more professional if I continue to call you Dr. Mike.
Either's fine.
That's okay. Dr. Mike, you are a chiropractor, but you also now, of late, you've been focusing on children's spinal health. Is that what you're going to share with us?
Well, I always have.
You always have?
As a
okay.
chiropractor, but
Okay. So is there
I was
anything
going to talk
special?
about some of that more today.
I would love that. We would love to hear that. Is there anything special about children's spinal health? Anything different about a child's spine from an adult spine? I'm sure there is, but I couldn't tell that.
Well, the main thing we try to focus on is prevention from a lot of the problems that we have as an adult.
Right.
And if you focus on that more when you're a child, it's going to make a lot of the problems adults get.
So it makes the spine strong enough. You're okay there? Okay. So when you talk about prevention, what kind of prevention are we talking about?
Well, from birth right up until adulthood, whatever you consider that to be, like 18, 21.
Right.
Like right from birth, I mean, usually there's a lot of there could be birth trauma from a forceps birth or the vacuum extraction, C-sections when they're pulling out
The child.
children, and a lot of times it could twist their spine and put pressure on the nerves and discs, and
Okay.
that's where good posture and starting yoga at a younger age could actually help to alleviate some of those symptoms.
That's good to know. So in yoga, because we do a lot of stretching, it helps release the, vertebrae?
Yeah, the
The spine?
pressure.
And
Because the main
releases
goal is to maintain the disc health in your spine.
Okay.
And as children, it's almost twice as big as an adult. And then we start losing the fluid and blood supply,
Right.
usually around the age of 20. So up till then, if you're doing some kind of activity like yoga, martial arts, that
Right,
helps to stretch and strengthen like that,
Okay.
it's going to make a huge impact later on in life.
So what we can do today, today was supposed to be a children's episode, but even though we don't have kids right here on the mat, what Dr. Mike is going to do as we stretch, maybe you can point out that if there are children watching this show, or mothers with children, what are the precautions or what are the benefits for a child getting into a particular posture? Maybe you can explain it in those terms. Because I already had about 6 to 7 people who email me saying, I wish this taping was happening outside of school hours. So they're not able to make it because the kids are at school.
Yeah, the
So-
biggest problem I found with kids is the explanation of what you're doing, getting them to follow it correctly.
Right,
So you want to
okay.
try to keep it simple and try to maybe chunk each pose into little chunks of what to do, how to get into it, rather than just getting into the pose and then
Okay.
correcting it. Maybe, like as we go through today, maybe I'll give you one example of what
That
I'm
would be
trying
good.
to say.
Yeah. It'll be great because I'm really looking forward to those explanations because when kids are not careful, I know when my son was about 13 or 14, he was a big guy, so they allowed him into the gym, but I believe at that age you shouldn't be really lifting weights because it stunts your growth.
That was one thing I was going to talk about today too.
Good,
Is one of those
okay. Is that
concepts
true?
about weight bearing exercise and
Yeah.
all that.
So that actually affects the spine. So feel free as we
Definitely.
stretch, help point out certain things. And if we're doing something wrong, please feel free to correct us as well, because I don't want any of us hurting ourselves either.
Sure.
So in just a moment, we have Jonathan Booth to my extreme left. Hi, Jonathan. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Jonathan, I know you came in just a little bit late, but from the last episode that we taped, it's the first taping today, but how did you feel when you went home? I know last time we had a personal trainer, we held postures for a very long time.
Yes, I was actually at home in my living room practicing, and
Good.
I happened to do good. Unlike when I was on the show, you saw me not
Right.
keeping my balance too
Right.
much. That I was watching everybody else to make sure I was doing it correctly. But then when I went home doing it, I had
You
no
were fine.
problem, and it felt pretty
You were
good.
fine.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I should be able to do that today as well.
Oh yeah. No, you were fine. And I didn't even think much about getting off balance. That was not an issue at all. The problem was when you came in the last episode, I think you did come in a little later.
Yes.
So when you're not able to ease into the posture, like the rest of us had the advantage of already working into that posture. So we had no excuses not to be steady. But with you had joined us a little late, so it was a little harder for you. But I'm sure I've seen you hold your balance very well, so I don't think that was an issue. I meant the holding times. Was your body hurting? Because I know you work out at the gym.
Yes, it
So it
was
really wasn't a
actually
problem for you.
like my legs. Like I just have a hard time
Right.
keeping it balanced, especially when I'm standing on one foot.
Right.
Yeah,
We
so-
did some of that.
Yeah, and also when I was doing like the
Oh,
knee
yeah,
over
with the knee
leg
crossed over,
and to,
yeah.
you know, keep
Twisting
straight.
the other way.
Yeah, normally I'm used to always doing this. I never did it, double.
Right, right.
So once I work on that a little bit more, I'm pretty sure.
That's all right. I think you're doing well, and as long as you recognize what you need to work on or you feel you need to work on,
Yes.
we're all doing fine. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. We want to take full advantage of Dr. Mike's presence here. So we're all going to stand up, and we'll start with the standing postures. In the next episode, we might take you through some balance postures while we're standing, or we may even skip that altogether because in your practice, the balance is not really going to help in any way with the spine, right? I mean, it's more muscular, right? We don't really need to worry about the spine. I mean, we're not doing any twists in the balance.
No, it depends on the age, I would say.
Okay,
But it
okay.
would definitely help strengthen the spinal muscles.
Oh, it will?
Yeah, the core
okay.
muscles.
All right, well, let's all stand up. We'll start with the standing postures. For those of you who want to come stretch with us in the studios, remember we have a lot of support for you. We have a website, www.yogaexpress.com, yogaxpress.com. But today and for the next couple of episodes, it's Dr. Mike's day. So we're going to get his credits up on the bottom third of your screen. So watch that. Stay in touch with Dr. Mike. If you have any questions, please feel free to email him. And you can also write to us. It's right there on the screen. Heels together, toes apart, and Lana's going to join us. Lana, why don't you come forward just a little bit? Good. Press your palms in. Elbows are raised. The wonderful thing, Dr. Mike, is that you also stretch with us, which I find really good because then I can watch you. If I'm making a mistake, I know, okay, you're a spine person, so if I make a mistake, I'm going to watch you. Inhale, take your arms up. And as we are in the postures, Dr. Mike, feel free to point out any benefits or precautions. Now, can we go all the way back? Like, can we keep hyperextending or whatever? What do you call that? Is the spine collapsing?
Well,
the back?
right here it'd be extending. Hyperextending is when you go too much.
Okay.
And this one's good especially for the neck and low back because this is the natural curve of the neck and low back.
All right. Okay.
So as you're going back, you probably want to try to let your head eventually come back a little bit, and you want to try to go straight up and elongate and then come back. Let the
Okay.
belly button come forward to help with that curve in the low back.
Oh, that helps a lot. Okay. So that way we're able to get more of a stretch upward. Okay. Exhale, fold from the hip. Bring your heels out so the insides of your feet are parallel to each other, about 4 to 6 inches distance between your feet. Inhale, bring your arms up to shoulder height. Keep your back nice and straight. Keep your palms facing each other. And Dr. Mike has anticipated the next stage. Exhale, bend at the knees. Remember, I always like to say if you hear pops and crackles, that's okay. Those are just air pockets and not Rice Krispies, not a problem. Inhale, let's come up. Exhale, and release. That's 3 postures right there. Dr. Mike, before we move on, any tips? Were we doing that okay? We're not impacting the spine.
Oh yeah, no, those are very good.
What about kids? Because kids don't have a problem with their knees. So can they go deeper?
They can go as deep as they can as long as they're keeping the form
Spine.
correct.
Okay.
With the curves in the spine and the knees not passing the toes.
Okay. Okay. All right,
And it's good too because it's not weight bearing like you were talking about before.
Right.
Because a lot of the bones don't fully form until 20, 21.
Oh, for young
Sometimes up
children.
till 24 too. So
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot of controversy with heavy weight bearing exercise in kids.
Right,
Like
right. Well, the reason I kept bringing this up about the kids, when you bend the knees, kids go to the gym, they lift weights.
Yeah.
Do they have to bend their knees a little bit to take some of the weight off of the knees? What do they do? How do they?
I think the biggest problem I've seen just from weightlifting myself and stuff through the years is a lot of kids and high school kids.
Right.
They just go to work out on their own, but they're doing a lot of things incorrectly that you don't really learn until later on in life as an adult.
And
Like
by
the
then your
correct
spine
way
is-
to do a squat or a lunge or
Right.
bench press, things, just the average things kids do, and they're doing it incorrectly when they're like 13 to 17, because I mean,
they
like
keep building
guys
on the
at
mistakes.
that age just want to go to the gym and get
Impress the
stronger, but-
girls.
yeah, myself included. And girls go obviously just because they want to lose weight and do other stuff. But
Right.
and no one's really using the proper form.
right.
So like the most important thing I would say would be to maybe consult a trainer or just someone that really
Right.
does know what they're doing and
And
get the
spinal
proper
awareness.
form
It's all
at
about
that age.
awareness of the spine. Let's all turn to face the front left of the mat. Bring your legs out, and Lana, join us. Bring your legs out about 3 feet apart. Jonathan, in case you feel blindsided, you're welcome to look at the monitor right there. First, put your brakes on, so make sure your feet are nice and secure on the mat. In case you're wondering, Lana and Sandy have got socks on. They both have rubber dots under their socks. You need traction on the mat. And Sandy, don't you dare say you don't have rubber dots, because you do.
I do.
Under your socks. Turn your right foot out. Upper body turns to face the side of the mat. Just your right foot goes out. Inhale, bring your arms up to shoulder height, palms facing down. Lean a little bit to your right. Exhale, dip your right hand in front of your right ankle. Take your left arm all the way up. Turn to look at the tip of your fingers on the left hand. Anything you want to chip in here, Mike, feel free, because we're sort of co-leading the session. Mike? Okay.
Oh.
Inhale. No, any explanation you want to give at any point, let us know. Inhale, let's come up. Because I need to know, for instance, the spine is moving sideways. So if there's anything you want to explain and tell us about any precautions, as we're in the posture, feel free to explain.
Well, yeah, this one's good. One of the worst things actually for the spine
Yeah.
is just strict side-to-side movement.
Right.
So this one, like,
You
the
extend.
form you were doing was perfect on this one, where you're bending from the hips rather than from the mid back,
Right,
like bending
okay.
and shifting down.
Right.
So it's more from the hip end.
So
and
this
then
one is safe.
The rest is going to stretch up.
Okay,
So
good. Turn your right foot in, turn the left foot out. Lean a little to your left, so that gives us a little more space, a little more room in the spine. Exhale, dip your left hand in front. Oh, Lana, you can bring your left foot back a little bit so you don't hit Jonathan. Come back. That's it, and I'll move back. That's okay.
I had trouble
Dip your
with
left
my
hand in
shoulder.
front of your left ankle. Take the right arm all the way up. Now, if you think you're not going to go all the way down today, that's okay. Place your left hand on your left ankle or the shin. Just avoid the knee. Now come down as far as you can. Turn to look up at the tip of your fingers on the right hand. Inhale, let's come up. Arms at shoulder height. Turn the left foot in. And then this time, turn your right foot out, and Sandy was about 2 steps ahead of us earlier on. Exhale, bend your right knee. I noticed that, Sandy. You were already in the brave warrior position a few seconds ago. You already were bending your knees, which is great.
You
You're-
live in New York, you're always in a warrior position.
You're always ahead. Yeah, you're ahead of yourself. So bend your right knee, turn to look at the tip of your fingers and the right hand. Now, as we are bending, we're going to keep exhaling and bend the knee a little deeper so that the lower part of your right thigh is at an L with the floor. So basically, it's parallel to the floor. Now, keep exhaling. Dip your right hand in front of the right ankle. Take your left arm all the way up. Well done, Lana. Good job. Take your left arm all the way up, Lana. And then move your left shoulder to the back. So as Dr. Mike just explained, this is a safe way to do this side stretch. So you want to make sure you get the full extension of your spine before you go
it's
down.
also very good to bring the shoulder blades and shoulders back, because a lot of
Okay.
people have the rounded shoulders from sitting down all day long.
Right.
So from bringing them there, so this helps to literally
Open
just
it
open
up.
everything up, and
Wonderful.
squeezing those shoulder blades together helps bring everything back.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Good. I'm glad you explained that so beautifully, because it's so important to know what it does for us. Inhale, let's come up. Turn your right foot in, turn the left foot out, and let's complete these last two postures on the other side. Exhale, bend your left knee. Keep exhaling. Dip your left hand in front of your left ankle. Take the right arm all the way up. Now that you explained this, Dr. Mike, I'm consciously turning my right shoulder back when I have my right arm up. So now I know what it's doing for me. So that's good to know.
Yeah, and if you bring those shoulder blades, like you're trying to bring it down and in more,
Right.
you'll feel the extra
way.
little stretch
Well, it does.
while
It
you're
feels-
pushing the fingertips up.
Yeah, it feels so good. It's nice to do it with an awareness. Inhale, let's come up. Straighten your left knee, turn your left foot in. Exhale, and relax. Wiggle your feet a little closer. Actually, bring them all the way in. And let's stay facing the front left of the mat. Now, bring your feet about 6 to 8 inches apart. Typically, we say about hip width apart. Actually, that's something I want to know. When we're doing a back bend, if we keep our feet about hip width apart, is that safer for the spine, or should we keep it closer? We're okay, hip width is good, right?
That's fine.
Let's do that. Keep your feet about hip width apart, and Lana, feel free to join us. You don't have to go too deep back, just a little bit. Place your palms on your buttocks and push your elbows back. As Dr. Mike pointed out earlier in the last posture, when your shoulders go back, the chest opens up and your shoulder blades are going to meet each other. You actually do feel, it does feel wonderful. How does that feel, Sandy? Feels good, doesn't it?
Very good.
Very nice, yeah. So it feels.
I have a problem, but I'm getting a bit round-shouldered, you know. And
Well-
Josiane's always telling me, put your shoulders back.
But see, every time we stretch, you're starting to open up, you're starting to straighten out. I do that myself, actually, Lana, because I find the days that I practice, I'm sitting upright, very calm and very relaxed, and then suddenly I'm on the computer and I'm slouching.
We're on the
Happens
TV.
to all of us,
I
or watching
notice
TV.
the TV and
Right.
I go, oh.
Right, and I think we all
And
need
then-
to bring business to you. We all need to come to you, Dr. Mike.
Yes, because I want to know how to do the split.
Oh, Sandy's going to show you how to do that. She does that really well.
That's
Now,
why it's important to start with kids, because kids are even worse
it's
nowadays.
so natural. Yeah,
Like, it
sitting in front of the TV.
Kind of started when I was young, but now, like I used to go out, play basketball, baseball, football, and stuff, and
Right.
then go home. But then
Nowadays,
video
kids
games
are
came
sick.
out, and
Yeah.
that was right around.
Tell me
my
what's wrong with
transition.
this picture. Social media has made all of us antisocial, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, being on the computer and Facebook and Twitter, whatever. I know those people are going to come after us now. But, you know, when you're trying to be sociable with other people, you're actually missing out on real life.
You are, but you know, sometimes like me, now I'm getting really, you have to. You have
to be there. That's true.
You can't fight it. It's like, oh, I don't want to do it. You have to. Like, if it wasn't, I wouldn't get this dialer thing if I didn't email him and I
That's
got
true.
an
You
answer.
need to stay with the times. That's
You-
right.
You have to.
Inhale, take your chin up, open up your chest, keep your shoulders back. Exhale, when you get past midpoint, exhale, glide your palms down the back of your thighs. And Lana, you don't want to go too deep. The rest of us, bend your knees as you go back. When you bend your knees, you're not going to hurt yourself, and it helps you go a little deeper. Do not suspend your hands in midair. Keep the connection. Inhale, let's come up. Now, just to avoid feeling too dizzy, all of a sudden you want to do a little bit of a side twist. Just let's release any tension in the spine. And this is the time, Dr. Mike, we need your total input. Why are we doing this? Why does it feel so good after a back bend when we do the side twist? What is it that...
It helps to rebalance your equilibrium, because your sense of balance, the majority of it comes from the fluid in your ear canal.
Right.
So as you're tilting backwards, you're changing your whole perception. So then
Right.
when you switch to a different like if you're going in 3 dimensions, you're switching back, so it's got the fluid
So you
has to
feel dizzy.
rebalance.
Right, okay, so you're trying to get that
Yeah.
back, okay. Now we're going to do a little bit of an intense forward fold, which I have seen Lana do extremely well. So here's what they're going to do. Lana, you're going to use this block, and then bring your legs out about a little further than you normally would, about 3.5 to 4 feet. Now I'm fairly short, so for me 4 feet is plenty. I don't even know if that's 4 feet, but it's as far as I can go. Now Jonathan, and you can come back, Lana. You can come back, yeah. Jonathan, you can probably go. That's good. Jonathan has got his legs way out, so he can go much further. Put your brakes on. You definitely want to bring your toes in this posture. Inhale, bring your arms up to shoulder height, palms facing down. Keep inhaling. Take your arms all the way overhead, palms facing in. Clasp your palms together, and I'm going to wiggle my biceps behind my ears. And Lana, in advance, I'm going to apologize. I might end up spanking you. Exhale, fold from the hip. Because of space constraints, I'm actually going sideways, but those of you at home, if you have space, you might want to go straight down. Place your palms between your feet, and then bend your elbows. Once your palms are nice and secure on the mat, you might want to wiggle your feet a little further out. Exhale and dip. This is a good time to use any props if you need to make the connection. Feel free to use a foam block that we have right here in the studios. First, I start off at the lowest point. You could go to midpoint, or if you're really tired today, keep your block at the highest orientation. Whatever you do, you want to make sure the top of your head touches the foam block, either mid, low, or high point. Press with your palms, inhale, wiggle your feet a little bit closer till it's safe to come up. Clasp your palms together, inhale, come up with a straight back. Bring your arms all the way overhead, exhale, and release. Bring your arms by your side. Wiggle your feet a little closer, and let's turn to face the front of the mat. The next posture actually is definitely going to need your input, because I remember you mentioned about the spine going sideways. So I want to make sure that we are stretching, even though we're just doing a very gentle movement of the spine sideways. Please help correct me, because I don't want anyone hurting themselves. So it's just the half moon that we're going to do. Heels together, toes apart. So feel free to just help us out over here.
Sure.
Yeah? Palms in front of your chest. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, dip to the right. If I didn't take my arms up and I went sideways, would that be safe, or is this a safer way? Dr. Mike?
Oh, this is safe because you're bending at the hip joints
At
when
the
you
hip, so
come
that's
up
okay.
like that.
All right. Inhale, let's come
It's
up.
very good for the discs and everything in between too, because when you come up first, if you hold it up
Right.
while you're exhaling out, if you still hold it while you're up, you're going to keep those discs expanded, so you're going to get some more fluid in there
Oh, okay.
while you're
so
doing the stretch.
that's why you won't feel pain, hopefully.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, you're stretching the blood vessels and everything else as well,
Right.
not just muscle. So
Right,
your blood
right.
vessels are going to be able to get more oxygen in, and the longer
Oh.
you could hold the poses for, like people at your level that have been doing it years,
Right,
are
just
able
hold
to
it.
hold it for all that time. I mean, that's where they get all the oxygen and benefits from.
Let's not forget to dip on the other side. Exhale and dip. I want to get all those fluids moving in my body. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, bring your hands in front of your chest, palms facing down. The credits have just rolled, which means we have about a minute left. We might be able to steal another 1 or 2 postures. I think 1 would do. In the next episode, we'll do balanced postures. I'm going to stagger myself. I'll come forward. We don't want to hit each other. Exhale. As we exhale, bring your feet out about 6 to 8 inches apart. As we exhale, swing your right arm out. Inhale the arm back in, and then we'll exhale to the left and inhale back in. While we get into the twists, feel free to talk, because we are going to move the whole spine.
Okay.
So exhale to the right. Actually, I'm very curious about this. Inhale back to the center. Exhale to the left. We're going to do it one more time. Keep your hips where they are. Inhale back to the center. This was my curiosity point. The second time around, we're going to take our hips with us and we move really deep. So tell me why while we're in the posture. Exhale to the right. Dr. Mike, why is it I'm able to move further when my hips are turning with me?
Because you're using extra joints. Before, we were just going down